The sun cast long golden rays over the ranch as the guests gathered for a weekend retreat organized by one of the region's wealthiest families. Among them was Elena Gray, a sharp-tongued, fiercely independent woman who had grown up around horses. Her family owned this land, and she had grown used to impressing guests with her unmatched skill at riding and breaking wild stallions. That morning, the conversation around the stables had turned to Phoenix, a wild, obsidian-colored horse that no one had been able to ride. He had thrown off 3 trainers and injured 2, yet Elena considered him her personal challenge. She had raised him from birth, and yet, even she hadn't been able to fully tame him. Standing near the corral with a group of guests, champagne glass in hand, Elena flipped her long braid over her shoulder and smirked. "I'll marry whoever tames this beast," she joked, knowing full well it was an impossible task. Laughter erupted around her, cameras snapped for fun, and her voice echoed across the open field. But one man didn't laugh. He stood quietly near the fence, hands in his pockets, observing everything, especially her. His name was Damon Blackwell. A billionaire investor from New York, recently relocated for unknown reasons. Rumors swirled around him. Some said he had walked away from a corporate empire, others claimed he was searching for something more real. Elena barely knew him. He had shown up just the night before, introduced by her father, and kept mostly to himself. Quiet, but intense. The kind of man who listened more than he spoke. The kind of man whose eyes said everything his lips never did. So when he started walking toward the corral, Elena frowned. "Wait, what is he doing?" someone whispered. Without removing his jacket or saying a word, Damon climbed over the wooden rail and stepped into the dusty pen with Phoenix. The air seemed to freeze. Even Phoenix turned sharply, nostrils flaring, sensing the presence of something new, something bold. Elena's heart jumped. "He doesn't know what he's doing," she muttered, starting toward the fence. "He'll get himself killed." But Damon didn't approach recklessly. He stood still, about 10 feet away from the horse, his body language calm, centered, non-threatening. Phoenix eyed him suspiciously, pawing at the dirt. The stallion was muscular, proud, and dangerous. Then Damon did something no one expected. He sat down. Right there in the dirt, cross-legged, as if he had all the time in the world. Minutes passed. Then 10. No one spoke. Damon simply watched the horse. Not like a man trying to dominate, but like someone trying to understand. Eventually, Phoenix stepped closer. 2 steps, then 3. Still, Damon didn't move. Then the horse did something shocking. He lowered his head. Elena's breath caught. Damon stood slowly, gently placing his hand on Phoenix's snout. He whispered something inaudible. The horse didn't flinch. Then, in one fluid motion, Damon grabbed a nearby saddle, fastened it, and mounted Phoenix with astonishing ease. For the first time in the animal's life, someone rode him, and Phoenix didn't fight. The crowd erupted into gasps, some applause, but Elena was speechless. Her joke now hung in the air like a dare fulfilled. Damon rode once around the corral and then stopped in front of her. He dismounted, handed her the reins, and leaned in with a quiet smile. "You said you'd marry whoever could tame him." She blinked, stunned. "You're not serious." "I never say anything I don't mean," he replied. "But why?" she asked, her voice smaller than she expected. "Why do this?" "Because I've tamed far wilder things than that horse," he said. "But none of them ever felt as worth it." He walked away without another word. That night, Elena couldn't sleep. Her heart raced every time she replayed the moment. Damon's calm, his presence, the way he didn't need to prove anything, he just did. And she realized she had spent years challenging people to reach her, but no one had ever truly tried. The next morning, he was gone. Not a note. Not a goodbye. Just silence. She searched. Days passed. Then weeks. Her pride kept her from asking anyone directly. But it gnawed at her, until one afternoon, a letter arrived. Handwritten, neat, elegant. "Elena, I didn't want to stay unless you wanted me to. I didn't ride that horse to impress you. I did it to remind you that impossible things happen when we stop talking and start acting. If your joke was real, my answer still stands. You'll find me in the city. And I'll be waiting, with a ring or without it. Your choice. Damon." She read the letter 5 times, then packed her bag. A month later, paparazzi photos appeared online of Elena Gray walking into a quiet art gallery in New York with none other than Damon Blackwell. They weren't holding hands. They didn't need to. The fire in their eyes said everything. They married the following spring, no horses involved, just a woman who dared someone to chase the wild, and a man who did.